gonna offer it, we gotta take it. Freedom. Hold the line, say hell no to anything that goes against freedom. You're calling us a small French minority who hold unacceptable views. Well, that's funny, Jack, cause the whole world is watching, and they all know that we outnumber you. For freedom. From the heart of Dixie, Bama to Ottawa, Canada, we're standing on the same solid ground. And I hear the land down under is rolling up the thunder. We ain't gonna take this laying down. No. Offer it, we gotta take it. Freedom. Hold the line, say hell no to anything that goes against freedom. Yeah, you're calling us a small French minority who hold unacceptable views. That's funny, Jack, cause the whole world is watching, and they all know that we outnumber you. For what? For freedom.
You guys raised $1 million in a day. One friggin' day.
Canadian government put pressure on GoFundMe, where there had been millions of dollars that had gone to the Canadian truckers to support them in their protest. GoFundMe was encouraged by the Canadian government to freeze those assets and then to distribute them to other groups, like BLM, for instance. Now, this was an absolutely disgraceful intervention by the Canadian government. It has been now questioned by GoFundMe, but nevertheless, nobody should ever use GoFundMe. It has also, the Canadian government has put pressure on some of the Canadian banks to freeze the accounts of truckers. I mean, this is just unbelievable banana republic behavior. Democratic governments do not have the right to order banks to freeze the accounts of people who do not agree with the diktats of the elected government. The Trudeau government has massively overreached. I think it is criminal. He has to go.
We're all brothers in this together, and we're here for one cause, and that's to fight for the freedoms of Canadians and for Canada itself. We need our rights back.
We're here for freedom, for what's right for the people, not what's right for the government.
This is about freedom.
That's what we're standing for, is freedom.
Tell me why you're here, sir.
I'm a 60-year-old grandfather who's been fired from his job by General Motors of Canada on December 12th. They told all non-vax people to just leave. They've cut us all out. My 31-year-old son has lost his job. He will be in April. He's been told he's gone because he's not vaxxed. And my daughter, who was pregnant in the fall and being asked to vax, had to leave early and give birth to a child prematurely after the government was harassing her to take the vaccine. So my family has been impacted in hundreds of thousands of dollars. My son-in-law has his own business, consulting business, and he's losing tens of thousands of dollars. The government has decided to punish their people, and I'm here to stop it.
I can't go to work because I'm unvaccinated. So I'm a mechanic. I can't go to work for it. I'm also in school to get my license, but because Trudeau deemed the schools a non-essential service, I can't go to school without a vaccination.
Don't understand how the leader of our country is not hearing our stories. They are not hearing our stories. They are not hearing. This man sits up there in his little white world, in his little freaking Parliament Hill. Nobody in Parliament has suffered this pandemic more than the working class. We have suffered and suffered and suffered, and we have had enough. No do their groceries for them. People run them all over the city and do all kinds of things for them. My son moved out of Ontario because he cannot afford to live here at the age of 30, making almost $30 an hour, cannot afford to live in Ottawa. He moved to Quebec and now he can't buy groceries. He can't buy food because he's not vaccinated.
Well, you're right. I think during the 2 years of COVID, we've heard over and over again that we're all in this together, but no politician has lost his job. No bureaucrat has lost their job. I think they voted themselves raises, as a matter of fact. So clearly, I think that might be the biggest lie we've had to endure in the past 2 years.
Yeah. If they were good as they say they were, then they would be able to mitigate these certain issues.
Why should we have to stay here and yell freedom and not have somebody come down here and just dialogue with us?
Are any media in Canada supporting you, or at least arguing that you should have a right to express your views?
Yeah, not that I know of. I think maybe Rebel News is putting out some positive stuff about the movement, but the mainline media is much the same in the USA. These guys are not our friends. They're coming after us. They're slandering really good people. Man, some of the stuff they're saying about really good people, dragging their names through the mud, it's shameful.
All here in Ottawa for one purpose, a demand that the federal government repeal all vaccine mandates across the board. The crowd started to arrive on Friday, and they've all got one consistent message for politicians.
I would love to have my freedoms back. I would love for everybody else to have their freedoms back. Because you know what, vax, unvax, I don't care. But you can't take away your freedoms. It's not right. We've been living in this country for so long, and we have certain rights and freedoms that our veterans fought for, and one man is taking it away. Why? Ask him.
And the one man is Justin Trudeau in your mind.
That's him.
This started, this convoy of trucks started in BC, and they were upset about vaccine mandates for crossing the border. Do you feel that it's snowballed into lots of different issues for people as it's arrived here in Toronto?
There is so many different issues that people have, whether it's the Aboriginals and their rights and their drinking water that they don't have, or their children and the history that they lost, or whether it's our elderly, or whether it's our youth and the schools and all the rights that have been taken away from our youth, and all these masks that are starting to affect their mental capability and their social aspects. It's just not right, man. We need our country back.
We're here to end this tyranny of government. We've had enough of this. We've had enough of the shutdowns. We've had enough of it. It's time to stand up for ourselves. We're fighting for the country. We're fighting for everybody. We need our lives back. It's not about vaccine. It's about our lives.
Are you on Parliament Hill? Why wouldn't I be? This is democracy. This is what democracy is all about. People believe that the government has overstepped with mandates, and they're here to exercise their democratic right. People give the government the power to act in accordance with their values.
So I'm here from BC, and here's my issue. With these vaccine passports, it creates a second-class citizen in this country. So that's why I'm here. I don't want to create a class of citizens that are shunned by society because of their choice of what they want to put in their body. That's just not right.
100%. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you. You came here, you're not a trucker, but you came here to support them. Why'd you do that?
Well, one of the main reasons is for our kids, and also for all the injustice that we've been living for the past 2 years.
You really feel like you don't have your freedom here with the mandates?
Exactly, yeah. So I come here and volunteer and give help and love to everybody.
So if you're on the edge of coming out to support this movement, just jump the fence, get out here. The more people that show up, the more people that support, the more humanity is put behind this, which means we will bring an end to this. It's just a matter of time now.
awakening for him, because we will all be back up here.
Worth of damage in the United States to the
going, right, Pat? Is it going?
We are here standing with you. Meanwhile, you trample on us with horses. What happened in Ottawa yesterday is shameful. What happened yesterday is a stain in our history. You trampled our rights and freedom for those horses.
All of you good people understand why we're here and why we will continue to be here and why we will stand up for our rights, and we will never stop until the people in that house who committed the crimes against Canadians are held accountable. If I commit a crime, I have to do the time. Where they committed crimes, so they need to do the time. And that is up to us to hold them accountable, because I don't see anyone else doing it. And we have the tools and we have the means to do that. We know, as Jane said, and if anyone doesn't have one of these postcards, we have a lot of these postcards. And here's why they committed treason. There were no grounds as per Section 3 of the Emergencies Act. There was no national emergency that they needed to protect us against. They were the emergency, not us. We know that the protest was peaceful and lawful, and we know now that they lied about guns, they lied about the arson, they lied about the arrest, and they're still lying. Those lanes were open, those intersections were open, everybody was having a good time. The bridges were cleared long before this act was declared. It's all based on lies, and we have the evidence now in the Special Joint Committee for the declaration of the emergency. It's in the transcripts.
So we ask all Canadians at this time, at this juncture, to support this cause, to support this. We do not want to lose our democracy and our freedoms, and this is all about that.
And you don't need a truck to be here. Just bring yourself, bring your friends, bring your family, and have a good time while you're here.
Bring signs asking the police to stand up for Canadian rights and freedoms.
Every other country that's watching this right now, you guys don't give up. Go fight for your freedoms. Head out to your government officials this weekend and let your voice be heard. Head out every weekend until this shit is over. We are not okay with this. We are so far from okay with this. We are done. We're done watching people's lives be destroyed. We are done watching them just think that we're all just some minority. We're here and we're in numbers. The people's voices want to be heard.